What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I want to talk about your carnal desires, your wants and needs when it comes to intimacy, food, and anything that your body craves, pretty much. There's that. And then there's what your spirit wants. Your spirit, what's deep down inside you and not what's on the surface. You're practically at war with your body when it comes to going down a spiritual path. And everything in this world is trying its best to keep you from really touching deep within yourself, or I'd say tapping deep within yourself into your spiritual side and allowing that side to control you, have more control over you, I should say. Everything in this world is trying to keep you from getting close to that. If you look around you, you walk into a grocery store, a lot of the stuff you even find in there is trying to keep your carnal body more, it's trying to strengthen it, trying to give it more power, trying to feed it. You eat foods that you know are not good for you, but you eat them because they taste good. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but when it becomes a problem, when it turns into an addiction, and that's when you know that, and I'm just using this as an example, but that's when you know when your carnal flesh is having more power over you than you are over it, because it's almost as if your body decides when you're going to crave these things. It's not you who decides it. It's almost as if your body does. Like, you could be in a real bad financial position where you can't afford to go out and have a nice large pizza with whatever your favorite toppings are on it. Yet some of you might do it anyway. And the reason why you'll do it anyway is because your carnal flesh, your carnal nature is having its grip on you. Now, learning to tame yourself and taming your desires is how you're going to have the most control over your life. You lose control over your life when you allow your carnal body to have more power over you than you do over it. And when you tap into your spiritual side and you allow your spiritual side to have more control over you, and your spiritual side is where you really are, where your soul is, where your spirit is, where everything that's spiritual about you is, where your true identity lies, that's where you can have full control over yourself and over the world that's around you. When you allow your carnal desires, your craving for intimacy with the opposite gender or with another person, your carnal desires for food or beverages like soda. You guys all know soda is not good for you at all, and we'll drink it anyway because it tastes good. You see, because these things that taste good and give us this short-term pleasure, it's what feeds our carnal desires. And a lot of people, they'll constantly chase after that. They'll constantly chase after the short-term pleasures, constantly trying to make it a long-term thing. One short-term pleasure after another. There goes a year, there goes 2 years, there goes 3 years, there goes 4 years, there goes 5 years. And before you know it, you're living in that direction, and that's basically the opposite of what your spirit wants out of you. You're at war with yourself. You're at war with you being able to control yourself and have control over the world around you. Because if you allow your carnal body to control you, you are technically not in control. Your body will decide when you crave this or when you crave that. You notice these cravings, they don't pop up when you decide. It's not like you woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'm gonna start craving this or that around 7 o'clock today. You might start craving some pizza right around 3 in the afternoon. You probably already ate your lunch. You're probably in the middle of work, and out of nowhere you just feel this urge or this need that, hey, I want to go outside and spark a cig. Or I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm just using that as an example. You want to go outside, you want to spark a cig, you want to drink this or smoke that or eat this or eat that. These are examples that I'm using. The hardest battle you're going to face is fighting that in itself. And there's a lot of tools out there in this world that you can use. They're scarce, but they're out there. And there's tools that you can use that can help you fight your carnal side. Even your phone can be used against you. In fact, I've noticed ever since these cell phones came out, they've been sort of a double-edged sword against everybody, and a lot of people allow their carnal nature to basically lead them into using their phones for pleasure, just like how they use food for pleasure and smoking for pleasure and drinks for pleasure. You're doing the same thing with your phone when you're sitting there and you're just watching reels all day. You know what I mean? It's entertaining. It gives you this spark of dopamine that you're basically looking for, that your body is craving. And when you use your phone in that aspect, you're basically feeding your body even more. You're basically starving your spirit more and feeding your body more. But when you use your phone for educational purposes, you're not watching reels all day, but you're doing your research, you're looking things up, you're trying to find out how you can tap into your spiritual side. And you notice that there's even a couple tools right there on the internet that you can use that can help you do that. That's when you're on the right path. That's when you're doing what? Okay, now I'm looking at something right now that's just a plane. I hope that's just a plane. That's just a plane, dude. But yeah, I'm always keeping an eye on the sky, Always keeping an eye. You see that little flashing? I'm always keeping an eye on the sky, trying to see what's going on. You never know. I've caught a couple shooting stars before. You'll be surprised what you can catch in the sky, dude. But anyway, these two paths can lead you to having full control over your life or no control over your life. Full control over yourself or no control over yourself. And this is your warfare. This is the battle you face every day that you don't even realize you're fighting. Most people don't realize it. Most people just do whatever feels good. And when you feed one side more than the other, let's use your carnal side, let's say you feed that way more than you feed your spiritual side, it's going to take a lot of fighting. You're going to have to really fight those cravings. You're going to have to really fight against you wanting this and you wanting that, or you craving this or you craving that, to actually get yourself under control so that your spiritual side can take the wheel. And that's when you really start to take control over your life and dominate your life. You have to really consider everything that's out there, everything that you look at. Don't look at the things that you buy and the things that you eat and the things that you consume and not only the food and the drinks and the you know, the alcohol and the smoking. Not just that, but also the information you consume, the what you allow into your mind is also another thing that can either feed your spiritual side or your carnal side. Pretty much anything and everything you have to take into consideration if you really want to fight against your carnal nature. Because if you feed into your carnal nature in one aspect, you feeding into your carnal nature in one aspect, let's say it's food or drinks or just one of those, can lead you into feeding another aspect. So you start feeding into food, you start eating a lot of food that you crave and stuff, that basically feeds that urge that you have, that could lead you to doing the same thing with drinks or what you want to watch. Like, it's just, it works as a whole. It could work as a whole. When you crave one thing, it could lead you to crave another. So you have to be very careful as to what you allow in your space, and the information you consume is another important aspect. All right, you guys, I'm gonna end the video on that note. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope that this video can be a blessing to you guys, and I hope that you can take this information and it can help you a lot. I really do. Well, I woke up from a nap, still kind of tired, but I felt like I needed to make this video. I felt like it was important. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good Christmas, have a good New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.